Indiana Podcast Network.
This is AC's Conversations.
AC's Conversations is about sports, music, TV, movies, and more.
Everything and more.
Everything is ready to go.
That include the latest news and rumors, along with interviews with the biggest names in sports and entertainment.
This
is AC's Conversations with your host,
News 8 Sports Director.
The man is the real deal.
Let's go to work, brother.
Anthony Calhoun.
Here with Kevin Bowen, our Colts Insider. It's Monday, so it means he's always here with us on Wish TV, and there's a lot to get to tonight. But first thing, I want to talk about just a missed opportunity yesterday against the Jacksonville team. You had lost 9 straight in Jacksonville. Yes, you were shorthanded, but they came in 0-4 in the season as well.
Yeah, the final winless team in the NFL. Missed opportunity in your division, which stings even more. And AC, it's wild to think of the Colts as the team that's usually the AFC South, kind of breadwinner. They've been such a dominant team in this division for so long. They now have lost 11 of their last 15 games within the AFC South. And it's not like this division has been the gold standard in the NFL either. So I would couple that on there. When you lose, Houston week 1, and now you lose to Jacksonville, you're getting behind the 8 ball. It's getting late real early in the division, and you just can't have that again, considering what your divisional slate looks like the rest of this month.
And a chance here to go on a 3-game winning streak. That didn't happen, obviously, losing yesterday to Jacksonville. Their 2-game winning streak is over. Now, we know Anthony Richardson did not play yesterday against Jacksonville, dealing with that oblique injury, but he did take some little warm-ups, if you will, before the game. So let's update the situation with Anthony Richardson. Question number 1, my friend, can we see him back this week against the Titans? And number 2, there's been a lot of speculation going on, a lot of it on social media about him being the QB1 for this team. Joe Flacco played great yesterday. Is there a chance he may kind of replace Anthony Richardson? Take us through all that.
Well, I think there's a little ways to go for him to be ready for week 6. I thought he was really limited, frankly, in practice last week. And again, this is oblique, not the hip. And I think the oblique's a little bit more difficult to come back from. But when healthy, the Colts are sticking with him. There is no internal dialogue about Joe Flacco and sticking with him. And I think we have to remind ourselves, the Colts have done this song and dance before with these Band-Aid quarterbacks. I mean, you got to live in reality. Joe Flacco's 39 years old. He wasn't the 4th overall pick with all this inexperience. Again, Carson Wentz, 9 games that season. Gardner Minshew last year, 9 wins. Even Phillip Rivers or Jacoby Brissett, 7 wins, 11 wins. That song and dance, AC, it's gotten the Colts to this point where you have to commit to this young quarterback and all these reps. So it's awkward. You want to win, and you obviously are in this division title drought and this playoff win drought. But at the same time, you've committed to this young kid, and I just don't think you all of a sudden bench him, 7 or 8 games into his NFL career, given how inexperienced he was exiting college.
Yeah, and just to set the record straight, head coach Shane Steichen was asked about Anthony Richardson. He said it very, very firmly. Yeah. He is the quarterback of this team when he comes back here. And then you got to think about this. The last time he was out there, by the way, folks, slow down for a second. He had some great drives here. Sure. Last time he played, they had 2 wins. And so I think folks need to just calm down. It's week 6 of the NFL season and see what happens moving forward. Okay, but one thing I think a lot of Colts fans are concerned about has to do with this Colts defense. We saw yesterday giving up big play after big play. Is Gus Bradley, is he in trouble with his job there as the defensive coordinator?
Faith and trust was the 2 words that Shane Steichen used today to discuss the public backing of Gus Bradley. But I think internally you have to have more of these discussions because, you were 28th in points allowed each of the last 2 seasons. You're hovering around the basement of the NFL, again in that category. And AC, it's not like you've played a bunch of juggernaut offenses here to start the season. And yesterday, Trevor Lawrence came into the game as one of the worst accuracy quarterbacks in the entire NFL.
Wow.
And he got big play after big play on you, and that's something that they are supposed to pride themselves in. This is supposed to be a defense that gives up a little bit, underneath, but they don't allow those big plays over the top. So I do think this is a conversation internally that needs to be much more front and center. And I don't put it all on Gus Bradley, too. I think the personnel questions can go to Chris Ballard as well. There's a lot of people at fault here for the piece of the pie. But, boy, yesterday was such a horrific defensive effort. And I get they were banged up, but still, you can manufacture in other ways. An offense with a backup quarterback, backup running back, backup center, still scored 34 points. That should be enough to win a game in the NFL.
I agree. Good chatter on this. Big game Sunday, must win?
Yeah, in mid-October, it's kind of weird to say that. But, again, in the division,
you got to win it.
A bottom feeder, a questionable quarterback situation there with Will Levis.
Yep.
It's about time you start to change where your recent track record has been in this division.
All right, Kevin Bowen, our Colts Insider, he's with us every Monday here on Wish TV.
Discover more at wishtv.com and when you follow Wish TV on Facebook. Plus, be sure to follow and subscribe to the AC's Conversations podcast and others on the All Indiana Podcast Network. Connect now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.